Last night, we left Cebu by ferry, heading for Bohol. Once we arrived at the port of Tagbilaran, we still had about 12 kilometers to cover to reach our accommodation in Panglao. But at this late hour, the pier was almost deserted. No taxi in sight, and we watched the last remaining tricycle drive away right before our eyes. At that moment, the idea of having to walk those 12 kilometers with our backpacks started to seriously cross our minds. And then, suddenly, emerging from the night under the glow of the full moon, came one last tricycle. A few minutes later, we were on our way, crossing the peninsula in the quiet of the night to reach our hotel.
I'm sick of you spoken the truth. Exhale, let me taste you one more time.
The next morning, we hopped on a scooter to explore Panglao at our own pace. This small peninsula, about 14 kilometers long and 5 kilometers wide, is connected to Bohol by 2 road bridges. Famous for its white sand beaches, turquoise waters, and numerous diving sites, Panglao is becoming increasingly popular, especially among Asian tourists, thanks to its international airport, located just minutes from the beaches. Our first stop, Dumuluan Beach. The atmosphere here is laid back, and the coastline remains relatively unspoiled. The sand is a brilliant white. The shallow sea stretches out for dozens of meters, and coconut trees gently line the beach. It's the perfect place to start the day, far from the hustle and bustle of the busier day. We take our time, strolling quietly along the shore, enjoying the peaceful morning. The day promises to be calm and gentle, a serene pause before the intense adventures that await us tomorrow on the island of Bohol. It's a moment you won't want to miss, so don't forget to subscribe to follow the journey. After the tranquil break at Dumuluan Beach, we get back on the scooter and head to Alona Beach for a drink. Located at the southwest coast of Panglao, Alona is the island's liveliest beach. The white sand stretches for nearly a kilometer, lined with bars, restaurants, and small shops. The atmosphere is vibrant, with a succession of terraces, dive centers, and tourist stands that contrast with the tranquility of Dumuluan. It's a perfect spot to take a break and watch local life unfold by the sea. After the break at Alona Beach, we get back on the road toward Hinagdanan Cave, located on the other side of the island in the municipality of Dauis. From Alona, it takes about 15 to 20 minutes by scooter to cover the roughly 10 kilometers separating the two locations. The road passes through quiet residential areas, a few rice fields, and small local stalls before reaching the discreet entrance of the cave. Access is through a natural hole, about 1 meter in diameter, with a descent via concrete steps and a rope for support. Caution is advised as the ground can be slippery. Discovered by a farmer, the cave is famous for its impressive stalactite and stalagmite formations, as well as its inner lagoon, which reaches depths of 10 to 20 meters. Natural light enters through opening in the ceiling, illuminating the turquoise water and creating an almost otherworldly atmosphere. Once inside, we discover a surprisingly spacious cavern bathed in shifting reflections. Swimming in the lagoon is optional, with life jackets available for those who wish to take a dip. The visit is relatively short but very pleasant, offering a striking contrast to Panglao's coastal scenery. The cave also holds historical significance, having served as a refuge for the local population during World War II. Next, we hop back on the scooter and head toward the southern part of Panglao Island. The road winds through peaceful areas, passing local houses, coconut trees, and small roadside stalls. The atmosphere is calm, almost timeless. Our first stop is in front of a statue of Noli Me Tangere, erected in 1924. This sculpture pays tribute to the novel of the same name by José Rizal, published in 1887. Through this work, Rizal denounced the abuses of the clergy and the Spanish colonial administration, awakening the Philippine national consciousness and inspiring the independence movement. Erected during the American period, the statue symbolizes the intellectual resistance and cultural pride of the Filipino people. Placed in the heart of the village, it stands silently as a historical and cultural landmark. Right next to it stands the parish church of St. Augustine, a charming example of typical Spanish colonial architecture. Built from coral stone, it features a simple yet elegant facade, with a massive bell tower and a few discrete ornamental details that recall the colonial era. We explore it, taking time to observe its structure, the marks left by time on its walls, and the peaceful atmosphere surrounding it. Just a few steps away, a lively basketball court highlights the importance of this sport in everyday life in the Philippines. Children and teenagers gather there to play in a joyful and friendly atmosphere. We stroll around, enjoying this glimpse of authentic local life, before getting back on the road to the northern part of the island to continue our exploration. We really took our time strolling around today. Since the sun sets early in the Philippines, between 5:30 and 6 p.m., it's already time to head back north to discover one last village before nightfall, Dauis. We park the scooter near the church. Built in the 19th century, this church elegantly combines neo-Gothic and neo-Romanesque styles with a coral stone facade, a slender bell tower, and beautiful stained glass windows. Inside, the ceiling painted with floral and religious motifs, the pointed arches, and the soft, diffused light create an atmosphere that is both solemn and peaceful. We are in the middle of Flores de Mayo, a very important Catholic tradition in the Philippines. Throughout the month of May, children, especially girls, dressed in white or in floral dresses, come to church to offer flowers to the Virgin Mary, pray the Rosary, and sing Marian hymns. Introduced by Spanish missionaries in the 19th century, this tradition celebrates purity and devotion to Mary while bringing the community together in an atmosphere of joy and shared faith. Scenes of children laying flowers and taking part in collective ceremonies are typical during this time of year. Flores de Mayo lasts the entire month and concludes with a grand procession called Santa Cruzan, held on the last weekend of May. As we leave the church, we stroll for a few moments around the square, immersed in this peaceful atmosphere filled with living traditions, a beautiful way to end this day of exploration. We then hop back on the scooter and head to the south of the island for dinner at a small Thai restaurant. On the menu, simple and delicious dishes, rice, noodles, fragrant chicken, and for dessert, one of our favorites, the classic mango sticky rice with coconut, perfectly sweet and comforting. The atmosphere is relaxed and typical of small local eateries, with a few outdoor tables and an open kitchen, from which spicy aromas drift into the night. As we start eating, a sudden tropical downpour hits the restaurant. We stay at the table, hoping the rain will ease off before we leave. It seems to stop for a moment, just long enough to give us false hope. Eventually, we hop back on the scooter to head to our accommodation, but the rain starts pouring again, just a few meters down the road. The ride back turns into a real adventure, an epic arrival, completely soaked under the heavy rain, laughing at the situation. And ironically, the moment we arrive at the hotel, the rain stops almost instantly. Tomorrow, we are off to Bohol for an exceptional day discovering its iconic landscapes and its famous tarsiers, those tiny primates with huge eyes. An unmissable highlight of our journey. See you soon for new discoveries.